Going
I'm good. How are you?
pretty good.
Good. Sorry about the miscommunication on the time.
No worries. That's probably on me a little bit too. So,
That's okay. Let me forewarn you that I am home and I have a newborn. So if you hear him in the background, I apologize.
yeah, no worries.
He was sleeping, but decided to wake up at the most inopportune times.
Naturally.
Okay, give me 1 second because I had your resume and stuff up. So you're currently in Orlando, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but are open to relocating to other locations.
Yeah, primarily Denver, Seattle, or probably Austin. Kind of on the fence with Austin.
Okay,
Sorry, I got something in my eye here.
no problem. We have horrible allergies in our household, so um um okay, and so you've been doing a lot of like contract work through your own company, correct? I think we
Correct.
talked
Yeah.
about settling down, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely ready to move towards something full time and just kind of permanent.
Okay. Um, so tell me a little bit about your experience and kind of the projects you've been working on.
Yeah. So the most recent contract I was working on was with Daniels Manufacturing Corp. While I was there, I was primarily doing project management. I had to source external contractors and manage those external contractors. When I did do hands-on coding, I was primarily focused on the front-end side of things, which was based in Angular, and the back-end side was based in Django. I did a bit of DevOps for the overall setup as well, but primarily, as I mentioned, was doing project management for that. Let's see, most recently in freelancing, working on a couple of WordPress based websites, primarily just doing, theme redesigns, changing up the HTML, the CSS, JavaScript, and occasional PHP as needed.
Okay, okay. Um, and has most of your I guess front end development been on the Angular side, or have you done anything with React?
Yeah, actually, I would say more so on the React side. I prefer it much more to Angular,
Okay.
um, but I'm comfortable with Angular if need be.
Okay. How many years of React experience would you say that you have?
Um, Shoot, probably close to 2 at this point.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Okay. And what about how many years of Angular experience would you say that you have?
About 2 as well.
Okay. Okay. And then I know we talked about, and I've seen it in some of your online and stuff like that on your resume and stuff, in terms of being a full stack developer. Which codes have you used for the back end development?
Yeah, so primarily for backend, let's see, PHP and Laravel, and Python and Django. I do have a little bit of experience with .NET, but nothing I would really consider a professional grade experience.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just taking notes here. My fingers aren't
Sure, no
working.
worries.
Okay. Are you open to learning, I guess, other backend languages?
Yeah, definitely. Very open to, I'm excited about Ruby on Rails and .NET, yeah, a little bit, because it's so widely used.
Okay. So the position that we are, I guess, talking about in the Denver market, it's with a company called Unifocus. They're more of a startup mentality. Their backend is Java. Um, you don't necessarily have to know Java going into it, but they are hoping that it may be something you want to pick up based on the other, backend technologies that you've worked on.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. It seems like they use a lot of static typing, so it'd be somewhat similar to Angular.
Okay. Um, so let's talk about the relocation. You are here in Orlando. Do you own a home or kind of what's your situation in Orlando?
Yeah, actually, currently renting a room from some friends, so I
Okay.
can, pretty much jump up as soon as I'm ready.
Okay. So an easy relocation.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, and then I know we talked about compensation as well. We talked about for the Denver market, maybe targeting between the 85 and 95K range.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Okay. How flexible is your schedule right now in terms of setting up an interview? Is 24 hours usually enough notice, or would you need more time than that for a phone interview?
Yeah, I'd say 24 hours is fine.
Okay. Um, and then I know we kind of talked about back and forth in the emails. You're comfortable with having to fly out to Denver. They would want to meet you in person.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um, so are you looking in those locations for a specific reason or just kind of ready to get out of Orlando?
Yeah, a combination of the two. Ready to get out of Orlando. Been in Florida the majority of my life. It's too freaking hot here, and I love the weather out there.
Denver was a very cool city. I've only been once to visit my company, but it was we went in December and it was awesome. It was just so much to do and seems like a really cool city. I'm a beach girl, so I don't ever want to relocate, but
Okay.
um, Denver was very cool. And the cold is not nearly as cold as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I heard it's kind of like a dry cold. I haven't been
It
during the winter, but
It is. I mean, I have a 4-year-old son. He was like 2.5 at the time, almost 3, and he was literally running around outside in the snow without shoes on. So
that's awesome.
it's not nearly as cold as you think it's going to be. um, okay, so what would you consider your technical strengths at this point?
Um, Probably user experience,
Okay.
search engine optimization, and front-end web development. Um, Well, I can do, project management and a bit of full stack. I still feel like I'm relatively junior in both of those sectors, if you will.
Okay. Okay. Um, and we've talked about some of this other stuff. I just want to don't want to make you answer questions twice.
That's all right.
Um, have you thought about in terms of like locations in Denver, any specific cities or anything you'd be targeting in the Denver metro area?
No, honestly, I'm comfortable with pretty much any area there. Um, like I've lived off of OBT before here, so I'm really
Okay.
not worried about.
They're in a really nice area, so you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Okay, cool.
They are actually down the road from our office, and literally, it was kind of a joke when we were there because my aunt went with me to take care of my son, and everything was like 2 miles or closer. I mean, everything was literally right there.
Oh,
Uh,
that's awesome.
so it is in a nice area. It's kind of far from the airport. It's probably like 45 minutes from the airport, maybe an hour, but it wasn't terrible. I flew in the middle of, like 10 o'clock at night, so there wasn't any traffic. They do say Denver traffic is bad though, but we live here and I think our traffic is horrid, so I don't know.
Yeah, especially with I-4. Like,
Oh, so awful. Um, okay, so then since you've been working for yourself on these contract positions, was it through your own company, like through an LLC, or did you have health benefits or anything like that?
yeah. So to clarify, the majority of the time that I'm working C to C, it's typically just for freelancing type basis, and then
Okay.
typically I'll work with recruiters to work on a W-2 basis for contracts that are anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
But in terms of medical, I'm covered. I have the VA, so no worries there.
Okay. Uh, I do think, I mean, like I said, this position is a full-time direct hire position. They would offer you full benefits and everything as well. Whether it be, 401k, anything like that you may be interested in.
Yeah, 401k sounds good.
Okay. Um, do you have any questions for me, I guess, at this point in regards to this role?
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit more about just a little bit more about, I guess, like the talent pool, what the environment's going to be like, what the culture is going to be like, that sort of thing?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me pull up their information. And if I don't have the information, since I actually have never been to their office, I will make sure to get it for you. I
Okay,
know my
cool.
colleagues have been multiple times since um, they're, like I said, down the street from our office. Um, I know he said, actually, let me pull up something else. Give me 1 second. Nope. Um, I mean, they're open to hiring both, let's say, junior and mid to senior level candidates. A lot of the people that you would even interview with are on the senior level side. It is a startup company. So they are, there was more employees than I actually thought. And online, they had like over 150 employees, all in the Denver area. I was trying to get, what did it say? Yeah, so they're headquartered actually in Texas. So this is another office. And I do know that they do have some tech folks in Dallas as well. But I think the majority of the software developers actually sit in Denver. They are open to, it looks like, some remote work as well, maybe 2 days a week. So, and it seems like, okay, so the two offices are pretty different as well. The Dallas office is more, business, and the Denver office is definitely casual.
Nice.
They have a basketball court inside the warehouse. Just kind of reading some notes over here. The offices are kind of just normal offices, but I have heard it's definitely a, startup environment. It's not a ton of you're not working overtime or anything like that, but it is just a very casual, laid back environment. Sorry, reading some of the notes here.
Yeah, no worries.
It said they are a tight-knit group of developers, though. They do like the personality traits are important for them as well, cultural fit for them. And they do have flex time in terms of coming into the office. So if you are in an area where it may take you longer than normal to get to the office, start time's not at 8 a.m. sharp or anything like that.
Awesome.
You do get your birthday off as part of an incentive for working for them, 2 days a week remote, and they set a good work-life balance. Casual environment and dress code. Apparently they have a keg in their office, foosball, darts, massage chair, Friday game time. And it's definitely, it's not a micromanaging type of place.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? I want to go work there too. Just kidding. So what I'd like to do from here is send you over a right to represent form, which basically just says that you're allowing me to send your information over to Unifocus. What they will probably do is have you do probably a video conference with one of the senior developers there, since you're not local. They do, on a normal basis, if you were in Denver, have a coding challenge that they like to administer. They may have you do that on the call with them. I'll be honest with you, since you don't know Java, the 3 questions you may not, there's 4 questions total. One's a brain teaser and 2 are like the other 3 are multiple choice syntax questions. So they're not looking for that. They're really just trying to see how you work through problems and stuff like that. The other one, like I said, is a brain teaser. They may have you do that on the video conference with them. They may just have you do some whiteboarding or, talk to them as well. I will definitely get more information for you once we get to that point and can share the details with you as to what to expect from that initial interview. And then if you don't have any other questions for me, I will let you get on with the rest of your day.
Yeah, sounds good. I really appreciate your time.
No problem. I appreciate your time as well. I'll send you over that right to represent if you'll just reply back, and then I'll work on getting your information over to them.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.